So, my people, Rochas Okorocha, the former governor of Imo State, has called for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. He made this statement at Ifeanyi's night of tribute. Just take a listen.
And so, they are asking Igbos, may you embrace peace. Another thing that happened that is common with this great man is that before the death of Ifeanyi made a plea to Federal Republic of Nigeria. As if I went to Villa and begged Nigerian nation. Ifeanyi made a statement in the same line. I want to say to you, my brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Senate President, convey this one message on behalf of these Igbos who are seated, that the best way to honor this great young man is the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So that the Igbos can go home and reorganize their place. And I know you, Senator Babio, that even if you don't want to do it, send this message. For the sake of your wife, who is our daughter, send this message and get us a result. Or else, your wife is not too far from taking back home. Your Excellency, Mr. President, we are particularly happy that you are always coming to associate yourself with things like this. Nigeria still remains very grateful. Thank you, and God bless all of you. My people, my people.
So, my people, I hope you heard what Rochas Okorocha said concerning Nnamdi Kanu, and that was at Ifeanyi's night of tribute. A lot of people are now asking, why are they doing night of tribute for Ifeanyi in Abuja? And we'll be hearing this rumor that Simon Ekpa said that Ifeanyi will not be buried in Igbo land except they release Nnamdi Kanu. So we don't even know whether Ifeanyi is going to be buried in Igbo land or not. And some are saying it's because of the warning Simon Ekpa gave concerning Ifeanyi. That's why Rochas Okorocha made that statement, so that Simon Ekpa will allow Ifeanyi to be buried in Igbo land. But that is by the way. Let me allow you guys so that I can listen to this particular video from our brother and hear what he said in this particular video concerning the statement from Rochas Okorocha. But before then, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, share the video, and also give me a thumbs up. Thank you everyone for watching.
Former Governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, has called on the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu. He said this at a valedictory service held on behalf of Ifeanyi. He asked the federal government to honor the death of Ifeanyi by releasing Nnamdi Kanu. Those in attendance, we had the Senate President. He was actually directing this statement to the Senate President to take it to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that the release of Nnamdi Kanu will bring peace and stability in the southeast region.
Before the death of Ifeanyi made a plea to Federal Republic of Nigeria. As if I went to Villa and begged Nigerian nation. Ifeanyi made a statement in the same line. I want to say to you, my brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Senate President, convey this one message on behalf of these Igbos who are seated, that the best way to honor this great young man is the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So that the Igbos can go home and reorganize their place. And I know you, Senator Babio, that even if you don't want to do it, send this message. For the sake of your wife, who is our daughter, send this message and get us a result. Or else, your wife is not too far from taking back home.
Igbos want to go back home and develop the region. That is what he said. He said that the wife of the Senate President is from Igbo land. That if Akpabio loves the sanity, the peace of the region, he would take this message to the president so that Ifeanyi will be buried in the southeast in peace. because the demand that the Igbos are giving to whoever, is it the Southeast politicians, that the reason, the only condition why Ifeanyi Ubah will rest in peace in the Southeast is that Nnamdi Kanu will be released, because of the allegations that he had a hand in the incarceration and the travails that Nnamdi Kanu is going through today. He had a hand in the betrayal, the arrest and eventual kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu. So the results are yielded. This is what Rochas Okorocha told Akpabio, take it to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that Nnamdi Kanu must be released. It is so important for the Southeast. This is what we have been saying for a very long time. If somebody like Rochas Okorocha would come out and voice this in the presence of the Fulani lawmakers, in the presence of those people that don't want Southeast to see peace and progress, in the presence of these people, the Fulani, the Hausa lawmakers and other Southwesterners that don't, in the nearest future, they don't see any good thing coming from the Southeast. When he said it, it shocked all of them. Now, the results of the aggression on Southeast politicians is working. More pressure needs to be put on these guys. The governors in the region needs to come together to make sure that they resonate with the people in pushing for a prosperous Southeast. Southeast, an independent Southeast. The Southwest region, they are pushing for conservatism. You see how everybody is investing in Lagos, and Lagos is taking advantage of their hospitality and luring you to come in and invest in Lagos to better the lives of their people. So what is happening with the Southeast governor? Okorocha, of all people, making that statement is an affront on Hope Uzodimma. Hope Uzodimma, who is not interested in the goodwill of the people and not interested in the peace and prosperity of Igbo land. It stands and remains. You see, those that are going to welcome the body of Ifeanyi Ubah, Ifeanyi Ubah's kinsmen have given a condition for his eventual rest in peace in the Southeast. And Southeast politicians and governors and whoever that is concerned, whoever has the responsibility to convey the message to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should do so, because time is running out of hand. Southeast needs to be purged of elements that are causing crisis and division, causing insecurity, killing Southeasterners, sabotaging the freedom of Biafrans. Southeast needs to be purged at every point in time. So the most important thing Igbos are looking for now is the release of Nnamdi Kanu, and the federal government knows. Politicians from the Southeast has advised the federal government. They even sent a delegation to Būrï. They also sent a delegation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But the question you are asking is that why is it that these people are not ready to release Nnamdi Kanu? If after this call for his release, using Ifeanyi Ubah's valedictory service to call for his release in the presence of the federal government and Igbo leaders and other concerned parties, the federal government does not take a step to release Nnamdi Kanu, it tells us that the federal government wants the Southeast to be in chaos, wants the Southeast to be a place that is uninhabitable. Look at what happened at the Monday sit at home. Look at how elements are using this Monday sit at home to cause chaos and kill people in the Southeast. Look at the various, you see, most people would not want to come back to the village from Obodo Igbo because of what is happening in the Southeast today. Most people would not want to invest. Most people would not want to send or build whatever they are building, industries and whatever in the Southeast with what is happening in with the sit at home, with the unknown government, with the whoever, with the Nigerian army, Nigerian police, all clashes with what is happening. Nobody wants to invest in the southeast. At home, Igbos have the advantage of diaspora remittance. I repeat, Igbos have the advantage of diaspora remittance. More Igbos are abroad, which are willing to send money, dollars, or foreign currencies to the southeast for development. There is no other region that does remission, foreign remission, like the southeast. So we need to take advantage of all these things. So it is in the hand of the federal government to either listen to the politicians or listen to the non-state actors, whichever one you want to listen to. Your politicians that you recognize, I know the federal government would not in any way recognize non-state actors, I know, but your politicians that you recognize at this point in time are advising you. They are from that region, they understand what is going on in that region. They are advising Tinubu and the federal government, Attorney General of the Federation, withdraw the case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and let him be let off the hook. Release him so that there can be peace and prosperity in the southeast. If you really want, if it's in your intention for the southeast to be stable, I've been saying it a very long time that the federal government does not want southeast to be stable. If they really wanted southeast to be stable, they will have released Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If not for the pressure that is being put on southeast politicians, this thing that Okorocha said would have not happened. If not for the threat that if you bring Ifeanyi Ubah to Nnewi, his body is not going to rest in peace. You will not hear such a statement from these people. They are always idle. It is the people that just push them around. What they need to do, they will not do. So it is the people that will tell them what to do. So why are they leaders? If not the pressure from the people, we will not be having this conversation. So it is most important for the federal government to heed the demand of Rochas Okorocha and other well-meaning politicians, because this is the in thing now. By December, release this young man. Let this young man get to his hometown and rest and begin to fish out the elements that are causing insecurity. Let's know if we are pointing hands to this group or that group, this group that belongs to politicians or this group that belongs to the non-state actors or the federal government as the cause of insecurity in the land. You have tried the courts. The courts have not been able. The courts have not been able to hold this guy to account, to convict this guy. You have tried all you can. You cannot nail this guy. He cannot be guilty under Nigerian law and constitution, because the circumstance that brought him to this place is questionable. So there's nothing you can hold Nnamdi Kanu on when it has to do with the judiciary. You are just holding him for nothing. Convict him, send him to prison. The judgment, we have release him. You refuse to release him. You now have to re-appeal, and you are filing much more charges. This is a testament that the federal government has a hand in the insecurity that is happening in the southeast. If they don't release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that is point clear. That is why you see non-state actors are running rogue. Why would you not release this man? We know that some people from other regions don't really want this man released. You released Sunday Igboho. Sunday Igboho was released. Miyetti Allah leader was released. That young man that killed police officers, I forgot, Wadume was released. What is wrong with you releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? The options of trying him in court, you tried him in court. You had the options, you did all you can, but you can't convict him. He's just a political prisoner. Political solution is needed at this point in time. Political solution is needed at this point in time. That's why we are asking that this man be released. And for the southeast politicians, see, the anger, the bitterness in the hearts of the Igbos over their treatment in Nigeria today you need to go and quantify it. Quantify it. You know what it means to be neglected in a country that you invested so much? There are so many people that their houses are destroyed in some part of the southwest. You know the kind of hatred that will be in their mind, bitterness for Nigeria. Those that Nigeria is frustrating on a daily basis because of their ethnicity. Do you know how bad they will feel? Those that insecurity have displaced in the southeast, that armies have killed, have ransacked and destroyed their homes. Do you know how they will feel? I understand the interest of the federal government on Nnamdi Kanu's case. I understand it. But which is much more better? A prosperous and peaceful southeast than southeast that will be insecure, that will eventually lead to a non-state actor taking over that region, which will lead to Nigeria losing its soldiers, losing its officers, spending monies and all have you. In the north, they are facing a lot of resistance in the north. Would the federal government afford another resistance in the southeast? Would the federal government afford another resistance in the southeast? So we are calling on Akpabio, focus on governance and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Whether you are afraid that if he comes out of the detention or the incarceration, he's going to continue Biafra agitation. That is supposed to be another topic for another day. Another topic for another day. The most important thing is the stability of the southeast. All stakeholders are coming together to say release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Non-state actors, we have state actors, which are the politicians, elected officials. Non-state actors, which are those that are calling for agitation. These two people have come together with one voice. So the federal government does not have any excuse to say your leaders are saying different things, this one is saying different thing. We have come together with one voice, telling Tinubu release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But of course, Tinubu has interest in not. I bet you Tinubu will not release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I bet you. That's the fact. Tinubu will not release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because it is against his interests, his political interests. They see him as a criminal, but the law cannot criminalize him, cannot convict him. But some people from a region see him as a criminal. Some people, not all people. So before you say I'm going to generalize, see him as a criminal and must go to the gallows. Some people, they lost their leaders to Abacha, and the Northerners killed their leaders. So they believe that the same thing should happen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. One reason why I don't see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as guilty is because the Nigerian establishments pushed IPOB to the wall. People that were using placards, bare hands to protest, to ask for their fundamental rights. They were using bare hands, flags, to protest and ask for their fundamental human rights. You took your guns. Under Buhari, you took your guns where they are protesting. They didn't attack you. They are doing their protest. You took your guns and started killing people. For the fact that you're a federal government and you have the right to protect people does not mean that you need to use that right to protect to kill. You killed over 100 people. I know that nobody has the monopoly of violence. Look at what happened to Boko Haram. I think it's the Yusuf leader that died in police detention. That brought to the menace of Boko Haram. Just that little thing you need, the police, the Nigerian state needed to handle with care because of negligence and nonchalance, and I don't know, he died in custody. That brought Boko Haram on this country. We have spent almost trillions of naira because of that single act. So IPOB were protesting with hands, with placards, without weapons. And the response you needed to give to the IPOB people is to kill over 100 people, and went on, start harassing, arresting. Some people are still in jail till today. Because you are the federal government, you don't need to protect the rights of the people. You just need to harass people. No. What do you expect? If you are the federal government, a people that are united for a cause, protesting, going through the appropriate means, you took your guns, you went, used army, went and you started killing them. You killed over 100 of them, and there are videos online. You put so many of their youths to their early graves. And one of the God-given rights that God gave human being is the right to life. And you expect these people not to look for other means to defend themselves. You had Boko Haram in the north. The Northland attitude, till today, you cannot defeat Boko Haram. Boko Haram has transmogrified, one of my friend, into different sects. And Nigerian army, Nigerian generals have gone down for that. They could have avoided the menace, but the way they handled the movement, the Boko Haram movement, spiraled into something else. The same way they handled IPOB, that spiraled into something else. So the creator of the crisis, the creator of the insecurity, has always been the federal government. So Nnamdi Kanu behaving like the way he behaved, is a creation of the federal government. You went to his house, people died, 24 people died. For what reasons? He was supposed to appear in court. You went to his house and he was killed. People were killed. That led to the death of his father and mother. What do you expect from such a person? What do you expect? The Nigerian state, the Nigerian government took everything from him. His parents, who is a king, took everything from him. What do you expect? Now, you took a lot of resources, went into Kenya, brought him into Nigeria, tried him in court. Injustice at its peak. From one injustice to another injustice. What do you expect? That's my question. Those that are saying Nnamdi Kanu is this, he called for this, he called for this. What about the killings of his people by the same federal government? What about? When you say take law into your hands, is it in a country whereby the injustice is, you can see injustice? Do they have the moral right on the people? When people, you see, any judgment a judge gives, justice must be seen to have been given. It's not that somebody just gives judgment and nobody feels there's justice. Nobody sees there's justice. So what do you expect? If you're in its position, what will you do? You open your hands so that they can kill you, and you go. Some rogue police officers, have you not had encounter with the police before? And they take your rights away from you and about to take your life. If you see a policeman, if you see a policeman harassing you and brings out his gun and is saying he's going to shoot you, what will you do? You open your hands so that he will shoot you. That's my question to those that see Nnamdi Kanu as a criminal. You must face the law. They're just saying, if you see a police officer, for instance, you meet police officers in the night, which has happened several times. Take your money, you're about to take your money, take whatever. In the process, you're resisting them taking your money. They kill, you have like a wife and children. They kill 2 of your children. So because they are police officers, you will not defend yourself. Is this what you're telling me? Rogue police officers, they are good ones. Of course, in every setting, in Yoruba or Fulani, I will repeat myself, they are good ones. The rogue ones take the life of your family members. and you want to go down and open your chest without defending, you just be looking at them taking the life of your family members. This is an issue of life and death. It must be contested. So the federal government knows what to do. The call has been made. And they need to adhere to that call. I rest my case.
Welcome to Shamra Senior Steve.